Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to do our March Madness 2025 bracket predictions. And it actually took me 3 attempts to do this video. Both of them had audio issues. But nonetheless, one good thing about doing these predictions is that you don't have to be an expert to do a bracket. You could be an idiot like myself doing this bracket. So, I'm not gonna waste much time. Again, it took me 3 attempts to record this, and I don't feel like repeating myself over and over. Let me just jump right in. And we're gonna start off with the South bracket, where Auburn is the #1 overall seed in this year's tournament. And honestly, I am kind of surprised that it's Auburn getting the top spot over Duke. But I guess Auburn has the best resume. They have the much better resume over Duke. And we'll talk about Duke in just a minute. And right now, we got Auburn taking on Alabama State, whom Alabama State just won like a few hours ago. And it was an impressive win, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take on a very loaded Auburn school. Then we have Louisville against Creighton. I think I'm going to take Louisville in this one. Then we have Michigan and UC San Diego. A lot of people think that this is one of the better round one games of the eve of this tournament. They said UC San Diego. They said it beware. But I am going to take Michigan in this go round. However, Texas A&M and Yale, Ivy Leagues have always caused problems in the tournament. They're the definition of a bracket buster. I think Yale will bust this bracket. Then we have Ole Miss taking on the winner of San Diego State in North Carolina. I'm recording this as the Carolina game is going on, and they're mollywhopping San Diego State right now. So we're assuming that if everything holds up, I mean it's March, anything can happen. I'm actually banking on Carolina winning, finishing off the deal tonight, and then they'll go to Ole Miss and beat Ole Miss. And it's not me being biased because I am a Carolina fan, but I think Carolina will get the win over Ole Miss. Then we have Iowa State taking on Lipscomb. I'm going to take Iowa State. We have Marquette taking on New Mexico. I'm going to go ahead and take Marquette in this one. And Michigan State will probably beat Bryant. It sets up the second round where Auburn would take on Louisville. And yes, Louisville is an improved school. I think Auburn is just that. I think Auburn's just a better team in this one. Then we have Michigan taking on Yale. And while I don't think it's going to be enough for Yale this go round, I only got room for one round upset, so give me Michigan. Then we have, assumingly, the winner of San Diego State and North Carolina taking on Iowa State. I'm actually going to go ahead and take Iowa State in this one. And finally, rounding up the second round, Marquette and Michigan State, giving Michigan State. Now we got Auburn taking on Michigan and Iowa State taking on Michigan State. As much as I want a Michigan versus Michigan State in the Elite Eight, what a headline that will be. Again, Auburn's just one of the best teams in the country. I'm taking them. And I'm going to take Iowa State in this one. I think both Michigan teams loses in the Sweet 16. And in the Elite Eight, I got to go Auburn here. They're going to get the first spot of the Final Four. And now on to the East bracket, where Duke is the #1 seed. They have the best overall record of this whole tournament, but let's be real. The only reason that they're good is because they played a very weak ACC this year. Whatever happened to that conference? They used to be ACC used to be dominant in basketball. I guess NILs affect conferences one in more ways than one. But anyway, Duke will be taking on the winner of AU and Mount something. I don't know what that school is, but because I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and take Duke to win. Then we have Mississippi State taking on Baylor. And in this one, I'm going to take Mississippi State to win. We have Oregon taking on Liberty. I said Oregon has one of the better defenses in this tournament. I think Oregon will definitely shut down Liberty. In Arizona and Akron. Arizona, I've always think Arizona was going to make a deep run in this tournament. However, every year I predict this. They let me down. I'm not falling for it this year. I'm going Akron on upset. Then we have BYU taking on VCU, assuming that game will be played on a Thursday, given that BYU has this whole they don't play sports on Sunday thing. I'm gonna take BYU to win. Wisconsin and Montana, I'm gonna take the Badgers to win this one. St. Mary's and Vanderbilt with their 10,000 dogs. Apparently, those dogs can transfer to basketball too. And I'm gotta go with St. Mary's in this one. And Alabama, Robert Morris, I'm gonna take Alabama. So just one upset in this bracket. Duke and Mississippi State. This is gonna be the test for Duke. They played in the weak ACC, and a lot of people said, including myself, put Duke in the SEC, they'll probably go, I don't know, 11 wins at max, at minimal. So here you go. Here's their SEC matchup that you wanted. I actually do think Duke will probably squeak this one out, and I think ref ball might have a say in that one. Oregon and Akron. I think Oregon's going to do just enough to get that win. BYU, Wisconsin. I'm going to go ahead and take Wisconsin on this one. And St. Mary's taking on Alabama. I got to go with the Tide, even if things for them are looking very, very shaky. Duke and Oregon. Two defensive squads beating up together. Cooper Flag will probably return in this one. But check this out. I don't know what it is. But I got Oregon upsetting Duke. Duke's going to be the first number 1 seed to fall in the tournament. You heard it here first. And it takes us to Wisconsin and Alabama. I think that game will also end in an upset. And Wisconsin will win. And it rounds up Oregon taking on Wisconsin in the Elite Eight. And Oregon's going to surprise everyone, and they're going to go to the Final Four. Now we got the Midwest bracket where Houston has the number 1 seed. Back-to-back years of them having the number 1 seed in this tournament. Now taking on SIU Edwardsville. And honestly, I've never heard of this school until just now. Because of that, I'm taking Houston to win. And they just better not pull a Virginia versus UMBC or a Purdue versus Farley Dickerson. Anyway, moving along. We got Gonzaga taking on Georgia. I'm taking the Zags. Clemson and McNeese State. Another good matchup in the first round. Both of these schools, I do think Clemson could make a deep run. But McNeese State, I got them on upset. They're going to beat Clemson. And in Purdue and High Point has one of the longest winning streaks in college basketball. and I think they're going to upset Purdue. So, yeah, this is embrace the chaos here. Illinois taking on Texas, the winner of Texas and Xavier. I actually think Xavier is going to beat Texas tomorrow. And I'm a, I'm actually going to go ahead and take Illinois to win this one. That brings us Kentucky and Troy. And I'm going to take Kentucky, even though I do not trust them in this tournament. UCLA, Utah State. I'm going to take UCLA. And give me Tennessee over Wofford. Now for the second round, Houston and Gonzaga. That could be an interesting matchup. But I don't think Gonzaga has enough to take on Houston. And that sets up the odd matchup between McNeese State and High Point. Who saw this coming? I mean, if you see it coming from me, there it goes. But because I am from North Carolina, I'm going to go bias. High Point is going to be the Cinderella team that will make the Sweet 16. And then we have Illinois taking on Kentucky. And I kind of gone back and forth with this one. And I originally took Kentucky to win this game. But since I don't trust them, I'm going to go with Illinois going to the Sweet 16. And that takes us to UCLA and Tennessee. I think Tennessee will probably get the win here. And that sets up Houston and High Point. And I think High Point's run will come to an end. Houston is just that better of a basketball team. And they'll be taking on the winner of Illinois and Tennessee. And give me Tennessee to take this one in. And in the final, and for a spot in the Final Four, give me the Cougars. I think Houston is going to get that third spot in the Final Four. I think they have, and it's hopefully another step towards redemption. And last but not least, we have the West bracket, where Florida, the SEC champions, are the number 1 seed. And they're also one of the hottest teams. And I've seen a lot of people, particularly on ESPN, they're taking Florida to win. So, what do I think? Well, I think Florida's going to get a win over Norfolk State, setting up UConn and Oklahoma. I think UConn's going to win that one, which means all 8 seeds will win in this tournament. Memphis and Colorado State, I actually do think Memphis is going to get that win. And they'll be taking on Maryland over Grand Canyon. I'm going to take Maryland in that one. Then we have Missouri versus Drake. I heard you like them young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. I just had to do that. And because of that, give me Missouri. But Texas Tech and UNC Wilmington. This is where I have another upset. Give me UNC Wilmington to beat Texas Tech. Kansas and Arkansas. I do not trust John Calipari at all. And St. John's over Omaha. Give me St. John's in this one. This takes us to Florida and UConn. And I'm going to take Florida will end UConn's winning streak in the NCAA tournament. The 2-time champs will go down. We will have a new champion this year. And it takes us to Memphis and Maryland. Another game that I kind of went back and forth on. I originally had Memphis, but I'm going to go with Maryland in this one. And for UNC Wilmington and Missouri, this is where their run will come to an end. But hey, do have their hats to hang over if they beat Texas Tech, which I do think they're going to do. And last but not least, Kansas and St. John's. I think St. John's will win that one in a blowout. Florida and Maryland's next. And right now, I got Florida winning that one. And should I do it? I'm going to do it. St. John's is going to beat Missouri. And it sets up an Elite 8 matchup between Florida and St. John's. And I'm taking St. John's to get that last spot in the Final Four. So, Final Four, Auburn and St. John's. I think this is going to be a good matchup, but I think Auburn's just the better team here. I gotta go with the I gotta go with Auburn in this one. And last but not least, Oregon and Houston. I think Oregon's surprise run to the Final Four will come to an end against Houston, setting up a championship game of two number one seeds. And if I remember, I think I picked Houston to win it all last year. I'm picking Houston to win it this year. I'm not worried about the tiebreaker at the moment, but I think Houston's going to be the NCAA champions of college basketball. And that concludes this prediction video. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win the tournament? Let me know your final four picks. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.